What's going on, guys? Welcome. Just making sure. Can everyone hear me okay? This is still a bit of a test stream. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Welcome. So first ever live stream on the channel. Appreciate you guys for being here. We have the team news here. I'm not sure if you guys have already seen it. Just zoom that in a little bit. There we go. So it looks like Wan-Bissaka starting over Dallo, and Shaw's injured, so we have Malacia playing. And Maguire. Maguire is the big question mark for this game. I think, yeah, the midfield on screen here is kind of in the wrong position. I think Fernandez is going to play the number 6 role again, and we'll probably have Sabitzer playing in the 10, like he did in the previous game. Rashford through the middle is good. I mean, it sucks that Martial isn't starting, but you know, we did that poll on the channel. 3,000 plus people said that he'll play less than half the games, so let's hope we're proved wrong, right? Hi there, UK, Nathan, Charonda, Ashik, Giblix. How you guys doing? Also, by the way, I'm not currently in a studio, so pardon the noises that you might hear, and also I have a cat in the living room, so you might hear her occasionally. Cool. I'm just gonna set up my stream as well, so set up the game so I have everything to go when the game starts. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Yeah, appreciate that, Giblix. I've been making content for about 3 or 4 months now. So check out some more videos when you get the chance, man. We're trying to do the right thing on this channel, you know, create content that goes above the surface level analysis. And so I appreciate that you've enjoyed the videos, and I think you'll see some more good stuff coming up soon. Not Rick Astley. Yeah, I think Sabitzer will be playing the number 10 role today. I think Ten Hag will go for some consistency that, you know, we haven't really had in the midfield for a while, and I know that Eriksen is back and Casemiro is back as well, but I think Sabitzer has shown enough in the last game to get perhaps a run of games in that position. So I'm actually excited to see him at the 10. Let's see what happens. That's my cat saying hello. Ashik, yeah. Rashford is playing as the striker like he did in the last game, and he's done that a few games this season already. Guys, get involved in the chat. Where are you watching from? You know, this is my first live stream. I haven't really interacted with you guys. I would be very interested to know where you're watching from. I'm broadcasting from Canada, from Toronto, Canada. Get in the chat with which city and which country you're watching from. Your penthouse. I like that. Where's your penthouse, McTrappy? Liam Classe, is that how you say your name? South Africa. Very cool, very cool. Which part of South Africa? Sicily, Italy. Shout out to the Italians in the chat. Or I don't know if you're Italian. You might not be. Mood, nice to see you from Nigeria. Shout out to my Nigerian viewers. I think it's actually crazy how big a support Man United have in Africa, because I think I've seen maybe 30-40% of my videos get viewed from Nigeria, from Kenya. So it's pretty cool. Also South Africa. There's Indonesia in the chat. Nepal, Scotland. Very cool. Nice to see you guys, and welcome to the official first tactical watch along. Got a few people from India as well. Do more Chelsea content. For sure, man. I think Chelsea is a very interesting topic, right? Because I mean, I've been calling out for, maybe some of the Man United viewers here as well have watched some of my Chelsea content. And I just feel like I don't know where your club is going, really. Like Todd Boehly is kind of playing sorry, apologies. I'm just going to mute myself for a second. Hi, we're back. The cat is done doing her business. There's people watching from Ethiopia as well. Yeah, just briefly talking about Chelsea, I just feel like I don't really know where the club is going at the moment. I feel like Todd Boehly is playing football manager a little bit with the decisions he's making. I'm yet to see some cohesion with the way that your club is run. And yeah, I know. Even maybe you could say that this is similar to what Abramovich used to do, because you had what every 2 or 3 seasons you guys would just be like, okay, this is the season to win a Premier League or a Champions League, so let's invest in the team. And then you would have periods of maybe not winning stuff for like a year or two, right? Whereas you see the Man City model or even the Liverpool model, where they've been consistent for the last 7-8 years. So it's interesting to see if Todd Boehly can introduce some of that, because he said that we're going to be this is going to be a different ownership model. We're going to go with something long term, and obviously Potter got let go after 31 games, right? So hard to see what's going to happen. Yeah, Giblix, I appreciate that. Lamin watching from the Gambia. Shout out to my Gambians in the chat. watching from Mauritius. How you doing, Tarun? Yeah, good point. He could have bought some better players if he was playing Football Manager. But anyways, let's talk about United. We're here to talk about United. I'm curious. Do you guys think the Glazer sale will go through before before the summer? Will we actually have a new ownership in place for the summer? And is that going to allow us to buy some big players? Are we going to get some mediocre players? Are we going to be looking at free transfers again? What do you guys think about the United summer transfer situation? Ashik, my prediction would be um, I'm going to go with a 2-0 for United. I think I think United can win today. We're at home again. I think we'll be a little bit better in terms of creating chances than we were against Brentford. We got another viewer from Gambia as well. Thanks for tuning in. Rishi says Glazers are notorious for delaying deals all the time. No different with club sale. Yeah, good point. Honestly, I've been thinking about making a, transfer style video for a while now, and I feel like um, we might have to rely on some free signings again in the summer. And that's not necessarily the worst thing because there's a lot of good players out there on a free, just like we got Ericsson this year. Because to be honest, I think Hussein Mawar is on a free transfer. Giovanni Lo Celso, he's on a free transfer. I know these aren't like names that pop out of your screen or names that get you excited to wake up in the morning. But these guys are available on a free, and if we're not going to be able to spend any money and we need to start fixing the squad, then handing out like 2-3 year deals to some of these people might be the way to go, right? Yeah, good point, Giblix. You can find quality players for cheap instead of the max price. We see someone from Kenya here. Yeah, good point, Rishi. I'm not saying we should necessarily go in for Awar, but I guess the overall point here is that there are some deals available that you can do for free transfers that might suit the squad well. And obviously, you would hope that Ten Hag has the scouting network in place to get those people in. Yeah, Enzo Lefebvre is a good one. Yeah, we got to sell Bailly. I think Phil Jones is maybe out of a contract. We need to look this up here. Let's look this up. Phil Jones, Mr. Philip Jones. June 2023. Okay. Phil Jones will finally leave Manchester United. Can I get a thumbs up on the video for that breaking news? I mean, how this guy has survived like 10 years? Has it been more than 10 years? Just quite insane. This is the rare occasion he actually suited up for a game. But yeah, Philip Jones is out of contract at the end of it. Oh, there is an option for a further year. Never mind. um, if we triggered that option, I mean, maybe we all need to find a new club to support. I'm sorry. What are we doing with Phil Jones? Anyways, and I think let me check Eric Bailly. Okay. Okay. Our Bai has 1 year left on his contract at the end of this summer. And I think Marseille is obligated to buy if they make Champions League for 7 million or something like that. So let's see what happens with him. But yeah, whoever said that, I think we definitely need to offload some dead weight from the squad. And Rick Astley says, if they trigger that option, I'm supporting Burnley. I'm done. Hey man, let's see what Vincent Company can do. Right? It's interesting to see that Company is managing Burnley, and they look completely different from the time that Sean Dyche was there. And now Sean Dyche has the Everton job. And if he keeps them up in the Premier League, it'll be interesting to see who plays the better football next season and who scores more points, right? So that's definitely a very interesting thing to see next season. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Burnley have been promoted to the Premier League already. Mason Mount is a very interesting shout. Personally, I think United should stay away from Mason Mount. Not because he's not a good player, but because there's going to be the English tax. There's going to be the Chelsea tax because Chelsea know that United are a big club and sort of we have money as well. Or rather, we can afford to spend money, but it's been managed poorly, so we may not have money. But Mason Mount, I feel like, look, is he a better 10 than Bruno? Is he a better 8 than Bruno? It's hard to tell, right? Because the best version of Mason Mount that we've seen has been in that Chelsea squad when they've had other good players around him, because he's played with Kovacic, Kante, and then decent wingers and a decent defense, good fullbacks around him. Whereas at United, that hasn't always been the case. Not saying that our current team is not any good, but we might have to pay 50, 60, 70, 80 million for him, and I'm not sure if that's the way to go. Actually, let's check his contract situation. Yeah, he has 1 year left on his contract, and his value is about 65 mil. But look, normally if we were getting a player from the French league or the German league, I would say, okay, maybe we have a chance of getting him for like 30 mil. But does anyone in the chat think that we're going to get Mason Mount, even with 1 year left on his contract, for 30 million? I don't think so. Yeah, Giblix makes a good point. Do we need another 10, right? Like, I'm kind of done getting players for positions other than the ones that they play, right? And to be fair, we got Sancho to fix the right wing problem. And while he can play there, he actually had some of his best periods of spells at Dortmund playing off the left wing. And he's obviously not a left-footed player. I don't think his left foot is even that strong, right? Because there are some right-footed players that are equally good with their left feet, but I don't think this guy falls under that criteria. But we still purchased Sancho to solve our problem. But look, I feel like everyone can agree that hasn't necessarily worked out. And even now, we have Antony. We paid 90 mil for Antony to play off the right. And this guy, Sancho, plays off the left now, right? So, yeah, I'm not really sure about Mount. If you could, would you make Erik Ten Hag play Lindelof right now? I think other people, like I know Goldbridge on United Stand says this a lot. That Lindelof is our third choice center back, right? Like he's our third best center back over Maguire. So if we're talking about playing Lindelof over Maguire, like yes, I probably would, but I think he's in a weird situation with Maguire because he's still club captain and he doesn't want that off the pitch issue to start creeping up because of things people say in the media or something like that. So I feel like every once in a while he's giving him a game, surrounding him with most of his best team still, so that we quote unquote keep Maguire quiet while making sure that we don't lose games because of Maguire, if that makes sense. Not Rick Astley. I would definitely pick Bruno as captain. I think he's shown, I know a lot of people are not very happy with some of his antics, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I like seeing that passion. I want my captain to go be in the ref's face. I don't want him to get sent off because of that. Or get an 8-match ban like Mitrovic just got, but I would like to see basically Bruno be the captain and vice captain. Look, De Gea is a good shout. I feel like Casemiro or Varane would be a good shout as well, but maybe the fact that they haven't been at the club for as long as someone like a De Gea might be an issue. And then giving it to De Gea obviously is a slight concern because what if he wants to sell him in like the next year or 2 years? Maybe the vice captain issue is not so bad. How to learn football, says Mamoon. I think you buy a football and try to kick it against the wall and learn the first touch, because Lukaku never did that. Anybody agree? Frimpong seems expensive. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if... See, the problem with some of these sort of quote-unquote first targets that people talk about, right? Because Frimpong is probably the next coming of Hakimi, if you will, right? Like that fast, pacey right back who is great going forward, will suit our team really well, and he has a bit of a name as well. And I believe he has English heritage, right? Like one of his parents is English, or he grew up in England or something like that, and he's just chosen the Dutch nationality. So he is kind of, you could say there might be an English tax with him as well. So the problem is that he might cost 50, 60, 70 million. And when you're talking about maybe the midfield being a more important position for us to fill, like that number 8 slot, how can we spend that much on a right back, right? Yeah, because we already have 2 right backs, man. Like, I think what people need to realize is that once, like say we went and fixed the number 8 issue by getting a starting number 8 that doesn't need to be world-class right now, but has that world-class potential. Maybe we spend 40, 50, or 60 mil on that position, and then say say we have like 20, 30 more to spend. I'm totally fine with getting like sort of a backup striker, someone who can do that role really well. Not a Weghorst, someone like a Fulkrug, and maybe some people in the chat will know that I've been talking about Fulkrug for maybe more than even a year now. But so those are the 2 places that I would spend maybe 70 to 80 million on. Recoup some money from McTominay and Maguire, have some maybe 30, 40 mil more, and then look for a right back, if that makes sense. Because to go for a right back right away, it's not our most important position. We have 2 really good right backs. Like, let's not take credit away from Dalot and Wan-Bissaka. Who from the youth academy is breaking into the team next season? Probably Kobe Mainu. Like, he seems to be the one that's been given the most faith from Ten Hag, so I'm guessing it's going to be him, but it's hard to really tell. Yeah, agreed. Not Rick Astley. Much better to fill gaps rather than upgrade right now. Totally agreed. I think, arguably, if we're talking about filling gaps too, like let's say we address some of the first team issues. If you're talking about a backup, I think a right center back is more important than getting a new right back. But obviously, Ten Hag will have his own opinions. If he says, look, the most important issue for us right now is getting a new right back and we need to sell Dallo or Wan-Bissaka, then you get into that territory of having to sell 3 players because, we all think that McTominay and Maguire should be sold. And then you're also talking about selling a right back. I feel like there's too much going on for an incompetent transfer department to sell 3 players and buy 3 players in one summer transfer window. Forget about it. All right, I think the game is starting, guys, so I'm just going to pay attention to that for a second. Make sure I have everything ready to go for you guys. I don't know if you guys can hear the "We Want Glazers Out" chants in the stadium. What an awesome way to start your Saturday. Bardo Costenz. It's not an unpopular opinion, mate. Honestly, I've been saying this for a while. Number 8 is our most important position, and that's what we need to go get. And go check out the video I made on Orkun Kokchu. I think that guy is quite a complete player. He has that passing range that Eriksen and Bruno have, but he also has that leadership quality because he's 21. He's willing to put the team on his back. He can score goals. He can create goals. I think he's that link that we need, sort of between Casemiro and Bruno, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Giblix, decent point about Maino. I honestly think that a lot of the academy players that we see right now, they should just go out on loan. So I don't actually want Mainu to stay in the team and be an understudy to Casemiro because it might be too soon. And plus, it also stops him from getting the game time that he could get elsewhere. So maybe we'd be better off by better off by having him go on loan. By the way, guys, so this website that I have on screen right now is called FOBMob, and I think you should check it out during games. If we're going to do tactical watch-alongs moving forward and you guys tune in, great website to have on because you'll get to see a lot of the stats of these players. How does Bruno Fernandes already have a match rating? Oh, because the game has started, right? Sorry, I'm delayed a little bit. But yeah, this is a great website. I will start the timer once the game starts on my stream. Yeah, nice try, Deadpool. All right, game has started for me as well. Let's see. I think Ellis Sims, by the way, this guy is a decent player. The goal he scored against Chelsea was pretty impressive. He absolutely bodied Koulibaly like he didn't exist and scored that goal. So all right, so it looks like Maguire is still shit. Okay, I was just confirming that. Man, like what a career Maguire has had, from being relegated 3 times to being relegated to the bench. Um, you know, some achievement. I feel like him and Phil Jones are comparing notes. By the way, I think the timer is off by about 5 or 10 seconds. I apologize. This is the first live watch along, and I still need to get used to some of the tools that we have at our disposal. So I promise it'll be fixed for next time. And I also promise that the stream will be more in tune with the actual game time as well. So stay patient. Ooh. Nice nice turn and shot from Sabitzer. So again, Sabitzer playing in the 10 looks to be, yeah. See, he's a different type of 10 because Bruno's more similar to a De Bruyne, who sort of links up play all around the pitch and tries to get on the wings and put in crosses and create chances, whereas Sabitzer is more of a off the ball runner, and that's what he does really well. So it looks like Sean Dyche is sort of sitting very deep and deploying the old Burnley approach. Yeah, Sabitzer did have a nice shot. Hi, King Darius. How you doing? So what do you guys think? Like, what's your score prediction for this game? Get in the comments with your score prediction. First off, do you guys think we're gonna win this, or is scummy Sean Dyche gonna get a squeaky 1-0 win against us? 15-0. Dude, I can barely do that on FIFA on like amateur difficulty. That is hard to do. 4-0. That would be great to see. Even 3-1 as Rishi has just suggested. 3-1. I can't remember last time we scored 3 goals. Used to be pretty common since the World Cup, but then last few games it's kind of dried up. No, I don't mean live games. I mean like amateur, like squad battles. For those of you that play FIFA. Yes, Amit Jain, I am 90 seconds behind. That's correct. Actually, probably 2 minutes behind, because as you can see, the FOTMob has the official game timer here. So I am a little delayed, but I promise for the next stream I will have these issues addressed, because this is kind of a little bit short notice. So I'm still figuring some things out in terms of being live and having the timer accurate and everything like that. But I don't know if you guys saw around the 5:30 minute mark, Anthony put in a really nice tackle. I think like his defensive work is underrated, right? Even after the Liverpool game, I have to raise my hands up and say I was on here going mad about him not tracking back, but I'm pretty sure Ten Hag asked Anthony and Rashford not to track back in that game, but most games Anthony is the one that tracks back. Oh, nice ball out to Sancho. Oh, screws up the final pass. All right, so again, bear with me, guys. I will take some notes, because this is what I do normally when I'm watching games. But I will talk through what I am noting down so you guys know as well. Oh, come on, man. That was weak from Rashford. I don't know if you guys are synced with my time here. Ooh. Amit Jain, yes, I have played football, but mostly at like school level, just representing whatever team we were playing at school. Not at a very high level. What about you, man? Anybody here played semi-professionally or were any good at football? Curious to know. By the way, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on Malasia? Dordrecht, is that in the Eredivisie or? That's in the Erste Divisie, I think. Is that what it's called? King Darius, are you saying if Everton had Lakaka that we would lose 5-0? Okay, Sean Deitch is telling the ref to book the grass because it's fouling his players because they keep falling down. Yeah, Giblix, I think I'm a bit delayed from where you are. Yeah, Rishi, Anthony is very rough around the edges still. I think I might have said this in the last tactical analysis I did. Um, by the way, De Gea's passing out from the back has improved tremendously. Like he doesn't seem to be sweating every time there's a few players on him, which is good to see. Ooh. Oh, I see what you guys mean about the Anthony weight of pass, by the way. Again, apologies, I'm about a minute behind the where you guys are in the game. But yeah, the weight of pass from Anthony was really poor. But Everton seemed very open at the back. Like Everton seemed like, because our team is very fluid at the moment. Like Anthony's playing centrally on the break. Oh, what? Uh, How did Wan-Bissaka miss that? Oh my god. How? How? For those of you that play any FIFA, I'm sure you understand what a 2-star weak foot is. And that was a negative 2-star if I've ever seen one. Like that's a pass into the net. My god. And it's not like chances have been easy to come by for United, so like if it's a assist from the goalpost, like we'll take it. Yeah, that was piss poor. Wan-Bissaka has scored for United. Yes, I think it was under Ollie. Can't remember. I think it was a game in which we scored 4 goals. Might have been Newcastle. Newcastle rings a bell. And he absolutely smashed it in with his right foot from inside the box, I believe, into the roof of the net, if I remember correctly. Oh, okay, Southampton. But was it the 4th goal that he scored in that game? I'm sure he scored one against Newcastle as well. Yeah. So, by the way, are you guys noticing that whenever Wan-Bissaka plays, Ten Hag deploys Wan-Bissaka and Dallo very differently. Like usually, I talk about the 2-4-1-3 or the 3-3-1-3 formations, and whenever Dallo plays, I think Ten Hag believes him to be a lot more secure on the ball in terms of build up, short passes, switching play, things like that. So he plays Dallo more in the. Is that the first shot I've ever seen Malacia take? By the way. um, but yeah, going back to Dallo and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka usually plays in the middle three of that 3-3-1-3, whereas Dallo sometimes plays in the back three. And I feel like if we are going to get Frimpong, that has to be to replace Wan-Bissaka, right? Because Dallo does get deployed in the back three when we're in possession. So it doesn't make sense to get someone like a Frimpong and keep Wan-Bissaka and sell Dallo, because then those two players kind of give you the same thing, which is an attacking right back. Yes, I know Wan-Bissaka does his defensive work, but that's the slide tackles. What about the, in possession stuff? Yeah, like, I don't know what you guys think, but we look very comfortable in possession right now. Like, there's not sufficient pressure from the Everton players or the Everton team in general trying to press us. And if I was gonna give a playbook to any manager that was going up against this United, I would say press the life out of them in the first 15 minutes. You will force errors from them, and then they lose their heads, right? Because that's what we've seen from this team. But hopefully we can secure an important 3 points here, because we really need it. By the way, if you're new to the chat, let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, so Bruno's definitely playing more as a 6 or an 8 again this game. When we're building out from the back, he's acting more as a 6. When we're in possession and we're already in the Everton half, looks like McTominay's holding a bit further back, and Bruno's the one playing more as an 8. So honestly, I said it in my last video, hands down the most important player in our squad. Like Bruno Fernandes, if we lost Bruno Fernandes, God knows where we would be as a team. Yeah, Rishi, wide players have been poor so far. I mean, I'm really concerned about Sancho, man. He seems like, how do I put this? He seems like he would be good at Barcelona, because La Liga has 2 or 3 good teams outside of Barcelona. And so 16 times out of 20, he would be playing with no pressure, with 70% possession, and just sort of rotate the ball, vacate that left wing spot, play in the midfield, tiki-taka stuff. But when you get physical with Sancho, he seems to struggle under the pressure, the weight, I suppose. And I don't really see him delivering much. Like what is he actually doing in this team? Because if you watch Sancho's game, he'll go like down the left wing, he'll get a ball over the top, or get a pass through ball on the left wing, and he almost always cuts inside. And okay, he's not going to cut inside and shoot like Antony does, but oh my God. By the way, 18-25, that shot by Ellis Sims, that should have been a goal. That should have been 1-0 Everton. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that, Rishi. Yeah, exactly. Rick Astley. That's what I think. Like Sancho, he seems to always get on the ball and then cut inside. He doesn't even try to beat his man on the outside. And again, going back to a FIFA reference, you guys know about your 5-star skill moves, right? And he's supposed to be a player that has 5-star skill moves. Someone who can do the elasticos and the crazy skills that your a young Ronaldo could do. But I don't see him pulling those off either. I don't see him beating a man. And until recently, I felt the same way about Antony as well. But Antony is showing me in the last few games at least, that he does have that pace over a long distance, and he does have a right foot apparently, and that he is willing to pass. I still haven't seen enough from him, but I'm seeing some signs of improvement. But totally agreed with you, Rishi. Championship level football, poor quality game. Agreed so far, at least in the first 20 minutes. McTominay has his hands all over Dwight McNeil. I'm sure McNeil has some Scottish ancestry as well, so maybe they're long lost brothers. Although that would be hard to believe because McNeil has a first touch. All right, so you see that again. Sancho down the left wing. Around the 20th minute mark. Again, he cut inside. He put two players on their asses, but not good enough. Yeah, is it just me? Like, is it because I'm running on low sleep, or does this look like a bit of a training game? All right, so Sancho has a 7.0 rating at the moment. Let's see what this is for. He's got 13 touches, 1 chance created, 2 successful dribbles. Yeah. See, this is a problem with stats at times, because 2 successful dribbles to do what? Just because he didn't lose the ball and ended up passing it. Oh my God, what a pass by Bruno. My goodness. And Anthony. Not good enough, mate. Yeah, good point, Giblix. I feel like we're not good at recycling possessions, right? If we get the ball up the pitch and it results in a shot or conclusion of possession, we don't win it back quickly and maintain the pressure on the other team, right? And I feel like even though Ten Hag isn't necessarily out of the same mold of a manager as Pep Guardiola, in the sense that he wants 70-80% possession, Ten Hag would definitely like situations or periods of games where we maintain that level of possession, right? So maybe he doesn't care about a full 90 minutes to... We're so open at the back, and I'm sorry, like, Maguire... we have someone in the chat named Sprinting Snail, and I feel like that's Maguire's gamer tag. It has to be, right? All right, so my cat is doing the business again, so I apologize. I'm going to mute myself. Yeah, Rishi, completely agreed. It's 3 big chances created and 3 missed for United, 1 chance created. So your score prediction of 3-1 should already be true at the moment. Here we have another one-on-one, and Anthony misses it. Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We have 55% possession, 1.44 XG. I mean, if we don't score 2 or 3 goals today, it's going to look like Potter's Chelsea. right? Constantly missing chances. And if there's any Chelsea fans watching at the moment, what you're seeing here in this United game is some prime Potter ball in a sense, because our forwards are not finishing their chances. And if Ten Hag didn't already have credit in the bank, I'm sure United fans would also start saying that maybe Ten Hag isn't the man, right? Four big chances and 4 big chances missed. So it should be 4-1 at the moment. No, they do in some games, though. Giblix, Chelsea do create chances in some games. It's just, it's very frustrating to watch as a Chelsea fan, because you see João Felix, the guy should have had 10 goals by now in all competitions, but he has like 2 or 3. So I'm glad United didn't get him in the winter, in the January transfer window, and I hope we don't go in for him in the summer either, because Atleti are going to want 100 mil for someone who didn't work, who couldn't score goals in Spain. I don't think he'll be able to score goals in England either. Do you see that tackle from Bruno as well? 26th minute. What a tackle from Bruno. Like, this guy can do everything, honestly. Yeah, let's look through Bruno's stats. 4 chances created already. Like this guy must be wondering why he's getting the criticism from your Neville, your Scholes. And on the flip side, you know, people close to him might be thinking, why hasn't he won the Ballon d'Or yet? Because this guy creates so many chances every game. And honestly, like, I know it's a bit of hyperbole talking about Bruno and Ballon d'Or, but he is really one of the best, like, midfielders of this generation. It's just that you really need to be in the perfect situation, the perfect team, have the perfect players around you to perform really, really well. And I feel like we've never given that to Bruno. Ever since Bruno has come into this team, it's been, can Bruno save us? Can Bruno unlock the midfield? Can Bruno unlock Pogba? Can Bruno keep scoring a goal every game, goal or assist every game, like he did for the first little bit of the time that he was here? Yeah, underrated comment by Rishi there. Bruno's more essential to United than KDB is to City. I think that's not just now, but since Bruno has come to United, he's been more essential to United. And that's not to say KDB is not better than him, but it's to say it's an indictment on how poor we've been as a team. Like, imagine we fixed all the holes in our team and Bruno gets to play the next 3 to 4 years in, like, the best version of United possible. The dude will literally have like 2 assists a game. Can anyone in the chat disagree with me that if our forwards took our chances, if we had competent midfielders around Bruno, and the defense would be as good as it is now, that Bruno wouldn't have 2 assists a game? By the way, shout out to all 17 people watching right now. Really means a lot to me. I know this is our first stream. There's lots of things we can do to keep making it interactive, and I will keep striving to improve. But for the moment, I love the messages I'm getting from you guys in the chat, and I'm really looking forward to doing more stuff like this. I think what I'll try to do at halftime is take maybe a 5 or 10 minute pause, not shut the stream down, but set up the tactical board as well, so we can talk through some of the stuff that happened in the first half. Man, what a pass from Bruno out to Wan-Bissaka on the right wing. Oh! Wow. 5 chances created from Bruno now. 37 touches already in the first 30 minutes. 5 passes into the final third. 4 accurate long balls. I mean, this guy just does it all, man. Already has a 7.4 match rating. By the way, if you are on FOPMob, very interesting to see this momentum meter that they have. They've recently introduced it. I find it interesting. I don't know if you guys will. But for the last 12 in-game minutes, United have had by far more momentum. So do you guys think we'll score another goal before... not another goal. Do you think we'll score before the half ends? Because this is looking a little bleak. Bruno just tried a Trivela shot because he's like, I'm sick of creating chances for you guys to miss him. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I've spent like 3 or 4 months now watching games very closely to get a deeper tactical understanding of the game, to really understand what the managers are doing, what the players are doing. And when you spend that much time watching football, you realize that what you see is often not what's happening, right? And what I mean by that is, you can have a player playing really poorly, and that could be because of the system that he's playing in, could be because of the players that they're playing with letting them down, right? And not necessarily because the player isn't doing their job. And so what not Rick Astley says is a good point. The one-touch pass for Sancho, if it's in a different system, you know, it could work, but it ends up giving up possession in our system. So when people say that Bruno is not having a good game or he keeps giving the ball away, look at what he has. Look at the task on his hand. Right? He's trying to create 5, 6, 7 chances a game that leads to 1 goal for United. When you have that much pressure on you as a midfielder, as a creative player in your team, like what do you expect he's going to do? He's going to have 60 to 70% pass accuracy, and he's going to struggle to keep the ball because he keeps trying that hard pass to force United to get goals. Yeah, sorry, not Rick Astley. That's what I was talking about. That it is, things can be great ideas if the players around you and the system around you is, oh, nice shot by Bruno. Oh, by Sabitzer, sorry. Okay, so you guys have the jump on me. I have no idea who scored. King Darius, hello, my friend. Where are you from? Oh, it's McMayo. Scotty McMayo scored. Okay, let's see. Scotty McMissing, McMayo, McSauce, the Mech of McFred. Let's see. You know, I really wish that I could actually just have the game on screen and watch it with you guys. But too bad I don't have billions of dollars to pay the Premier League. Ooh, nice finish. Nice finish. I feel like 1% of that celebration from Scotty McMayo was aimed at me because of the slack he's getting on this channel. Veghorst needs to learn from that. I mean, dude, I can't explain Veghorst because in that game against Argentina in the World Cup, he comes on as a substitute, two chances, two goals. And then there was a Netherlands game over the international break where they had like 50 shots or something and he didn't score. And they won only 3-0. So I don't understand Veghorst, honestly, because I feel like there's something something going wrong with him, almost comically so. Yeah, Old Hunter, good point about McSauce. I don't think he's a DM. I've talked about this before. It seems to be a mental issue with him, as it seems to be with a lot of English players. When they feel like they're not good at something, or good enough at a Premier League level at something, they won't even try it. Whereas if you look at someone like Casemiro, for example, he's not the greatest passer in the world. Like we've talked about this on this channel. Casemiro has like a 79% pass accuracy. Sub 80% pass accuracy most games. And he's not as technically good as someone like Bruno or Eriksen in terms of playing the long balls in behind, but Casemiro will still try them, right? And I feel like McTominay just doesn't try them. He doesn't try that ball in behind. He doesn't try to be creative because he's like, that's not my job. But yeah, to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think I've seen anything so far that would necessarily make it into the tactical analysis video that I do, right? I mean, sure, I've seen stuff from a negative perspective that I could bring in and talk about in terms of missing all the chances, but I haven't seen anything positively. Why am I so behind? I don't know if you mean in life or for the game. I'm gonna assume you mean for the game. It's because my stream is just behind, and I need to figure that out for the next sort of video, and I will figure that out. Oh, it was Sancho that got the assist for McTominay. I just realized that. 3 chances created from Sancho as well. So he is having a decent game, although the eye test tells me he should be doing more. What do you guys think, by the way? Do you think Sancho's having a good game so far? Ooh. Nice pass from Rashford, dude. I think it's got to go in the notebook. Okay, so we have mixed opinions on Sancho. Some people saying he's average, some people saying he's below average, some people saying that his team kind of lets him down. Rishi's asking for a second before halftime. It's possible. Certainly possible. Although Everton also looked like they could score. Just being honest here. Let's look at our XG stats quick. 2.26 XG to 0.37. Yeah. Let's look at some of these shots, right? We got 0.35 XG from that Antony shot. 0.2 from that Rashford shot. Like, every single one of these could have been goals. That's the frustrating part. Ooh. That was a nice cross from Sancho. Yeah, I don't think... Like, Everton don't seem like they're going to get anything out of this game. Despite how poor we've been at taking our chances, Everton doesn't look like they came to win. I can't do the Sean Dyche impression, but pretty sure he told him, keep it tight till halftime and we'll nick a goal in the second half. Seems like his plan is not working so far. Yeah, Muhammad Al Fikri. Yeah, McTominay used to be a striker and number 10, I think, in the academy. Um, and then he probably just grew a few inches. And Ollie was like, yeah, let's use him in the midfield. Yeah, we've had 19 total shots. That's insane. Bardo, very interesting point. Um, I don't know. I feel like this season we've seen a different Rashford, so it's hard for me to criticize him because he seems to have gotten a lot more composure into his game. Sprinting Snail, good question about Malacia. I think personally, Malacia is very good defensively, and he gives you everything Shaw gives you, really, defensively speaking. Although sometimes I have seen him be a little suspect with his passing, but Shaw is just next level in an attacking sense, man. I think speaking of underrated players in this United team, Luke Shaw is another one of them. He has been like he was the Bruno before Bruno came into the team because a lot of the chance creation used to happen through Bruno Fernandes, through Luke Shaw, and he doesn't get the credit for it because some people still calling him fat and things like that. I think he's one of the fittest players in our team. He regularly plays 90 minutes. He's strong. He's good on the ball. He's good at reading the game defensively and in an attacking sense. So I think it's a shame that, oh my God, Anthony cleaned through. Oh, nice save from Pickford. Yeah, I'm just watching back the Anthony shot. Yeah, there was no power on it. Very, very soft shot, and it's not high enough either. So good point, Giblix. Another chance created. We have 6 big chances created and 6 big chances missed. So that McTominay goal was not a big chance. What a shame. Honestly, what a shame. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it's good to see that we're 1-0 up, but missing 6 chances, Ten Hag must be pulling his hair out, not from his head either. Let's see, 5 chances created by Sancho, expected assists of 0.37. So Sancho, with the assist, like the stats say that from his 5 chances, he has created enough to have 1 assist, which he has. Now let's look at Bruno. 5 chances created, 0.3 expected assists. So he should probably have an assist as well. But obviously, the team has let him down. He also has 8 passes into the final third, which tells you like the ball progression that we get out of Bruno, by the way. Kyle Tomlinson, welcome to the channel. Yeah, we should be 4-0 up. I mean, like I said, we missed 6 big chances. The website is fotmob.com. Check it out. One of the best websites to get live stats, especially when you're looking at XG and stuff. Like websites like FBref take almost a day or maybe 12 hours to get all the correct stats. But FotMob has it live. So best site according to me. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying Everton shouldn't have scored. They should have. Ellis Sims missed that. If he was playing against Chelsea, he probably scores it. But yeah, with 2.61 XG and 6 big chances created, we could have been 7-1 up right now. Especially if we were finishing like Liverpool finished against us in that 7-0 loss. How do you feel about Lampard back at Chelsea as interim? Honestly, to be completely honest, I feel like the first time around, Lampard had a very difficult job. I'm going to turn off the timer, by the way. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry, that's my cat again in the background. But Lampard at Chelsea is a very interesting one. I think the first time around, he took charge of the team in a transition season. They had that transfer ban. And for his first season, I thought he did decently well. I think he just got top 4, right? And then the next season, Abramovich was kind of like, that's enough of that. And then Tuchel came in, won the Champions League, and also got a bunch of transfer spending. So I feel like, maybe Lampard didn't get the best support the first time around. Now that he's gone to Everton and kind of not done well as well, it's hard to say where Lampard is in his career. But as a caretaker, I think it's fine till the end of the season. I think the goal was to maybe get some, some good feelings back into that club. Because they also got Ashley Cole, I believe, and maybe John Terry's also joined them. So you have some like ex-players, like legends of the club that have come in to lift up the dressing room a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a decent shout to have him till the end of the season, but I'm not for a second expecting him to be winning the Champions League or something like that. Although that would be insane. If he can go win the Champions League from here, what does that even mean for Chelsea, right? Because, well, first off, all the Potter haters will be on my back saying, you know, Chelsea has a winning culture and we're a winning club. Look what we got out of sacking Potter. But I don't think they'll ever understand. So let's leave that alone. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm happy for Lampard for that he gets to be back there. All right, so I missed some of the chat, so I'm just gonna go through it. Isn't there a stat showing United scores most in second half anyway after impactful subs? So maybe we do get a 4-0 final score and a return of Eriksen around 60th minute. Well, let's not forget, Martial will probably also come in around the 60th minute. He's being eased back into the action. So with both Eriksen and Martial on the pitch, I mean, yeah, we could even score 7. Martial is the ultimate striker for Ten Hag. But anyways, like I said, let me set up the tactical board. Let's just see what it looks like here. Maybe I can do it on screen with you guys. Okay, let's just do it on screen. Why not? I don't want to leave you guys alone for 10-15 minutes. So let's just do this. You guys will get to see live what I do off screen usually. Malasia trying hard. Pickford too strong. Andra Baskara, how you doing, my friend? I recognize you from the comments. You're always getting involved in the videos. Nice to see you here. How is your Saturday going so far? And also, where are you joining in from? See, what's your opinion on Weghorst being left out of the starting lineup? I think he's a squad player, mate. I don't think anyone expects Weghorst to be a starter for us. So Weghorst being on the bench, I have no problem with, and I don't think Weghorst has a problem with that either. Like, he's supposed to be available for the team when we need him, and that's it. So I have no problem with that. Bardo, Costenz, Bruno man of the match, absolutely agreed. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys to look at the stats that I've been looking at. There you go. Check out that website. Best website, hands down, when you're looking at live stats, especially during a game. But like I said, let me just spend 2 quick minutes setting up the tactical board so we can talk through some of the things we saw in the first half. All right, so Sancho, Rashford, Sabitzer, Anthony, McTominay, and Bruno, Martinez, and this has got to be Maguire. This is Malacia. And we got Everton playing in a 4-4-2. Okay, let's be honest. They're not playing that advanced, so that's probably more what it looks like. Apologies for the silence, guys. I'm just Just setting up the tactical board here. So we got Damari Gray, Ellis Sims, Drissa Gay. It will be Neil. By the way, I have a question for you guys in the chat. If Everton are to score, who do you think is their most likely scorer? Give like you got me there. Maguire is the most likely to score. That's hilarious. Okay, so it looks like I need to reduce the size of the chat a little bit, so let me just do that. Let's go to 300. Okay, there we go, that's better. Okay, so maybe we can talk through some of the tactical stuff that we saw from the first half. I don't want to blow your guys' minds, but that wasn't a great first half, especially from Everton's side. They weren't really doing that much. Okay, I thought someone said corner. The XG at halftime is 2.61 to 0.41, which is good and bad, because good that we're creating those chances, but terrible because we missed some sitters, as you might have seen from that first half. But yeah, so let's talk through the shape in the first half, right? So Malacia was very much switching between the back three and the midfield three to make the four. So we had Rashford playing through the middle, Sancho operating in like a bit more narrow, Antony a bit more wide on the right hand side, Sabitzer in the 10, Fernandez. Let's do Fernandez later. Let's put McTominay over here. We have Wan-Bissaka playing more on the inside, getting into these channels, right? And then, okay, let's do Fernandez now. So, because Malacia isn't necessarily the ball progressor or the first phase build-up player that Luke Shaw is, I've noticed that Ten Hag often likes to play this guy more in the midfield than he does in the backline, because he doesn't really have that passing range. He's not technically as sound. So I feel like when you have both Malacia and Wan-Bissaka on the pitch, that forces Bruno to play more deep, right? So even though Bruno was playing more, like when we had the ball in Everton's half, even though Bruno was playing more as the 8, operating in all of these areas here, when we were actually building out the play, Malacia would be further ahead than Fernandez, and Fernandez would be the one picking up the ball from the back line and doing the first phase of build-up. So again, I stand by everything I said in my last video. Without Bruno, this team would be 10th, like Chelsea are this season. Ayan Beg, nice to see you here. I've seen you comment on the videos quite a few times. How are you doing, my friend? Second half hasn't started for me yet, so I apologize again for those of you who have just tuned in. I am my stream is delayed by a bit, but I promise for the next time around that issue will be solved. Let me just have the timer out this time so I can start it at the correct time. See if it's working here. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm good too, man. It's just a little hot here today. All right. Second half is kicked off. I have a desk fan right here, but I feel like if I turn it on, it's going to ruin all your experiences. So I will stay strong for you guys. Yes, Ice Bucket Challenge on stream. Anyone else notice Ten Hag getting out of the dressing room after the half kicked off? What's he doing for so long? Ooh, another great pass by Bruno. Nice attempt for the cutback from Sabitzer, but I feel like that needs to have a lot more power on it. And he had some time on the ball, so I don't know what he's doing there. By the way, Giblix, I already forgot. Where are you watching from? Did you say Scotland, or maybe that was someone else? Yeah, it's I was looking at my partner in the on the other side of the room. Drift to Sama. By the way, did we make a substitution? Oh, from the Netherlands, right. How did you start watching the channel, by the way, Giblix? Is that from the Kokchu video that I did, or were you watching before that? Ooh. Oh, so have you even watched a full video from the channel yet so far? 3 full videos. That's more than I can watch. Jokes aside, though, I'm glad to see you here. Glad to see you interacting with the chat. I'm sure there's a lot of white space here that I can fill up in future live streams, but pardon me, this is my first one. Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, for those of you guys that are still watching, to tell you a bit about my history with United and consuming football YouTube content. Oh, by the way, I have to figure out next time how to get the timer to start from 45 because that would make it easier for you guys. But anyways, for now, you have to deal with this timer just so you can sync it up with where I am in the game. But yeah, so I used to consume all of these channels, right? United Stand, United View, and whatever other United content is out there, and also like Football Daily, Euro Football Daily, all of these channels that some of you guys might watch. Excuse me. And I always found that the analysis was very surface level, right? Like the people that a lot of people would watch that, wouldn't necessarily use stats or tactics to back up the stuff that they were saying. They would just say, oh yeah, Wan-Bissaka is looking really good today. He's done some good stuff, but they wouldn't really explain what he has done that's been so good. And I always had the sense that maybe, if I started creating some content, like maybe I could do it better. But I never took that chance. I never tried it out. And then the World Cup came around and I just really, I just really tried it, right? I just gave it a chance. I was like, let me see what I can do. Maybe I can figure this out. Then I started using the tactical boards. Initially, in the first 2 months when I was doing videos, I wasn't using any clips from the game. I was just doing the tactics board. And honestly, I didn't go to school for this. I'm not I don't have my coaching badges. I've never coached at any level. I haven't even played past grade 9 or 10 football. I've just watched a lot of football. I've consumed a lot of football content. And now from doing this for the last 4 months, I feel like I've learned so much more about football than even I knew before. And that's what makes it crazy to me that these pundits like your Graham Souness and your Gary Neville and your Jamie Carragher, these guys have played, I played the game, right? They've played the game for so many years. They've watched the game for so many years, and they still don't do justice to the game the way that hopefully I've started to do, and I know some other YouTubers as well. There's a lot of good channels out there that create good content. Excuse me. But unfortunately, the people that get all the views are your Gary Nevilles and your Jamie Carragher's, right? And sure, these guys obviously... Oh, nice pass from Anthony, by the way. But yeah, so I'm glad, Giblix, I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad you found the channel today. Hopefully we can grow it to be something a lot bigger and have more streams like this, have more content like this. And honestly, my dream someday would be to actually work for a football club in any capacity. Doesn't have to be a coach. It can be an analyst. I would love doing that because I am so consumed by this game for the last, you could say for the last 8 or 10 years. I've been very, very consumed by this game. Obviously, I started watching football a lot earlier. But that would be the dream. And honestly, some of you guys in the comments are very, very kind to me. So hopefully I can keep improving my knowledge of the game and keep doing that. Are you talking about the flop by Damari Gray? Drift to Sama, how do I think Mbappe would do at Man United? I think he would score goals against us because I don't think he's ever going to play for us. And I honestly, I don't want Mbappe at United. I know it sounds crazy, but he is. PSG have let him become this sort of bigger than the club personality, and I don't think after dealing with Ronaldo, we don't need another personality like that. Also, if we bring in someone like that, what does that do to a Rashford, right? Because right now it seems like Rashford's ready to take that step into becoming the man, right? At the club. Do I think Harry Kane is a good fit for Man United? Yes, but I have several concerns over his profile as a player because I think, yeah, like I feel like Harry Kane is going to be 30 in the summer. By the time we get him, he's going to be 30. He has a lot of football under his legs, so there are chances that he becomes more injury prone later in his career. Not that I have any questions about his professionalism, but so yeah, those are my concerns. But outside of that, I think in terms of a fit, Harry Kane is as close as it gets to perfect for what this team needs, because he can drop deep. He can do a lot of the creativity that our midfield doesn't necessarily provide in every game. He can take some of that creative load off of Bruno. And, oh, what a tackle by Malacia there. And he can feed, those through balls and long balls into your Rashford and your Antony that we just don't have someone doing from a striker position right now. But I have a serious question for you guys, by the way. Do you think Kane is faster than Weghorst? I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say, and then maybe I'll chime in with my opinion on that. No checking Football Manager, man. That's cheating. Just tell me right now. Like, what do you think? Sprinting Snail says for sure. So you think Kane is faster than Weghorst? I don't think there's a lot between those two. And I'm not going off of FIFA stats or Football Manager stats. I'm sure he is faster, but by not by much, maybe 5 or 10% faster, because Kane is what, maybe 6'1", something like that. Okay, not Rick Astley. What is Rashford's pace on Football Manager? Okay, Rishi's chiming in with the FIFA stats, I assume. Oh, has there been a substitution? Or you're saying Anthony should be off with Martial on? Honestly, I feel like okay, Rashford is 17. Cool. I feel like Sabitzer hasn't had a good game so far. What do you guys think about that? Like, if we were going to take someone off, maybe take off Sabitzer and put Sancho through the middle. Get Rashford off the left and Martial up front. Oh, wait, never mind. There was a substitution. That is my bad. The sub just happened right now. So, yes, Anthony did come off and Martial came on. So, whoever said that, my apologies. Giblix, my apologies. Martial and Rashford or Nunez and Gakpo? Are we saying both of them are completely fit and good to go? Because if that's the case, I would take Martial and Rashford purely because they've played longer together and for the first time they're getting a good coach, right? If you're talking about, because Nunez and Gakpo probably have more potential as we speak, but they, this is their first season in the Premier League, and I would take Martial and Rashford. And that's me being as objective as possible. I'm not saying that as a United fan. Yeah, that's a good shout, Giblix. I think you're talking about the explosiveness and having a good enough vertical, right? But what I would counter you with is Veghorst is 6'6", which is an average height by NBA standards. Kobe Bryant was 6'6", Michael Jordan was 6'6", and both of those guys had more than 40-inch verticals. So when you are athletic, being athletic at a higher height means you'd be better in the air. But yeah, I see what you mean in terms of most of the people that are that height, especially in football, aren't that athletic. So fair enough. By the way, SYNMN, nice to see you in the chat. Where are you watching from? Oh, nice. Fellow East Coaster. Or is it Central Time in Indiana, or is it Eastern Time? It's Eastern, right? Nice to see you on the channel, my friend. I'm not sure if you've commented on a video before, but It is, welcome to the channel and welcome to our first watch along. By the way, just curious, I want your feedback on something. Everyone that's watching in the chat. What did you guys think of the thumbnail? I know it's a bit of a random question, but obviously thumbnails are relevant to getting people to click on the channel and watch the videos. What did you guys think of it? Yeah, but LeBron is a freak of nature though, Rishi. The dude at 38 is... LeBron at 60 would be faster than Maguire has ever been in his life. So just want to put that out there. Oh, that's interesting. How come you're an Everton fan in Indiana? And also, where in Indiana are you from? Like which city? How is it still 1-0? Like, what is happening in this game? Wait, if you just started watching football this year, why did you choose Everton? I mean, I think you need to question some of your life decisions, mate. No offense, obviously. I'm just joking. But why Everton? I'm very curious. Hi, Jacob. Yeah, Brighton is definitely an interesting club. I feel like because of the volume of work that goes into making just one video, I have to be a little selective about which teams I analyze, especially with United playing 2 games a week, with a lot of Chelsea fans also watching my games. Ooh, nice header from Bruno. It's a little hard to analyze teams like Brighton, and I even think Brentford is a good team to analyze when they actually play, right? Because obviously they didn't play a lot against us. But yeah, De Zerbi is doing a good job. But, interestingly, Brighton have a slightly worse record on a per game basis than they did under Potter at the start of the season, right? And I know that's a small sample size to a larger sample size now, but I feel like a lot of people, giving Potter slack for being terrible at Chelsea and also not doing so well at Brighton, that's just false. Potter was doing really well with that Brighton team, even this season. Let's not forget he beat United in the first game of the season. I would love to see Sabitzer on right now. Why wait till the 75th minute? Sabitzer's had enough time. He hasn't looked that good this game. And to be honest, last game, if he doesn't get that assist, do we think Sabitzer's had a good game, or has he had another nearly game, right? Yeah, so normally most weeks I cover Chelsea and United games because that just seems to be where I'm getting the most traction. But since Chelsea's playing right after this game, I'm probably going to not cover that today because obviously I want to do the tactical analysis for this game. So, yeah, I will probably be watching the Liverpool-Arsenal game tomorrow as a watch-along. My prediction for the Liverpool game, I mean, it's hard to see Liverpool not getting spanked, right? Is that game at Anfield? Let's see. Wait, what? Yeah, so this game's at Anfield. I would predict a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Or maybe 2-1. 2-1 to Arsenal. So you guys are saying it's a goal for Martial. Obviously, for those of you that are new to the stream, I am delayed by 2 minutes, so I haven't seen it yet. So I love that everything good that United is doing getting spoiled for me today, but I will take one for the team because it's my fault that the stream is delayed. Two 0 assist by Rashford. Okay. Yeah, I think I mentioned this in the first half, right? We were talking about bringing Eriksen off in this on in the second half. Martial is yeah. Weghorst definitely misses that. I just saw the goal, by the way. Weghorst is definitely shooting that into Pickford's face. By the way, interesting question for you guys. Who do you think has a better bald head, Ten Hag or Sean Dyche? And I mean both ways. I want you guys' answers for two purposes of the bald head. One is to hit someone with your head, like a headbutt, like a classic Zidane headbutt. And two is looks, right? Whose bald head looks better? Rishi says Dyche for sure. To smack someone with, or you would find Sean Dyche more sexy? Pep has a better bald head. Yeah, but he doesn't go full bald, does he? Like, I feel like I see some hair on Pep's head sometimes. Whereas you see the proper shine with the Ten Hag bald, you know? By the way, super happy for Martial to score. I think Martial in good form is crucial to us having a good rest of the season. And I'm not just talking about getting top four. I also mean, you know, maybe winning the FA Cup, winning the Europa League. These are all really important to us. Pep is so stressed from the 114 charges against City. Yeah. I don't think I think everyone at Man City just puts up those 114 charges on a PowerPoint in one of their video sessions and just laughs at it for 30 seconds. Like, that's how little I think Man City cares about those charges. Because, dude, they got, like, UEFA to back up and move away from the charges they had against them. So, yeah, I feel like they couldn't care less. Like, the Premier League could come up with 100 more charges and they wouldn't care. By the way, you guys know that if Althani buys United, we're going to have Qatar Airways on the United shirt. Like, I hope that's clear as day to everybody, right? Like, there's going to be some financial hoodoo or voodoo or whatever you want to call it that's going to be done by Qataris as well, because we're very close to be running into financial fair play issues. Are you, Giblix, are you an Ajax fan? So were you following Ten Hag before his United days as well? Is that a reference to Visit Rwanda on the Arsenal shirts, Rishi? Yeah, Emirates Arsenal versus Qatar Airways United versus Etihad City. Yeah, that's it's a good shout. So Giblix, I take it you would take Eric Ten Hag's bald head over Sean Dyche. That's got to be a no-brainer, right? Looks like Fred and Eriksson are on the pitch, although I haven't seen it. Obviously, FOPMob tells me that's what's happening. There we go. I see it on my screen as well. By the way, Eriksson is looking good with that beard. I don't care what anyone says. Sarat, yeah, I mean, look, I will be more excited than anything that the Glazers are leaving, right? That's the first and foremost thing. Would I be excited if the Qataris buy United? Of course. I feel like the only way to compete, not just in the next 3 years, but over the next 10, 20 years, is to have that ultra wealth. Almost having owners that don't want to run the club as a business, right? And look, there's all kinds of human rights issues that are brought up with Qataris, but what about the 114 charges against Man City? What about the human rights issues in the UAE, right? Because it's not like Abu Dhabi don't have the same stuff that's going on in Qatar. Qatar's obviously had a lot bigger spotlight because of the corruption that went into the World Cup and how they won the bid, and then the construction of those stadiums. But trust me, more than the 5 stadiums that were constructed in Qatar, there's been way more construction done in the UAE over the last like 20, 30 years. And a lot of that has been done with migrant labor as well. So if we're going to put a stop to it, let's not just stop the Qataris. Let's stop everybody, right? Yeah, but Sin, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I feel like if Qataris were, waiting to buy Everton or, Rashford, has he picked up an injury? He's waving to the bench right away. Groin injury for Rashford? Is that what's happened? That doesn't look good. Okay, fair enough. I appreciate the honesty there, Sin. And you're totally right to have an opinion on that, by the way. I'm not saying there's a moral equivalency of what Qatar is doing to what, the Abu Dhabi owners at Man City are doing. But my point is, money in general goes all around the world. Like, I'm not trying to get too political here, but look at what's happening with Russia right now, right? Like there's a trade embargo with most countries in the world, but China is still doing business with Russia, and everyone else, the rest of the world, is still doing business with China. So we're still indirectly supporting Russia, even though we've directly embargoed them and things like that. It was a nice shot by Seamus Coleman at the edge of the box. Yeah, so like, I'm pretty sure every single person watching this, every person in the world has at least one product that's been produced in China, and they've purchased it maybe in the last 2 or 3 years. So, you're supporting the Chinese economy. Who knows what they're doing with the money that they get. I feel like everyone has some soul searching to do when you start, making these things. And also, I also don't like the fact that we as football fans are forced to make these decisions, right? Why do we have to say, I like this and I don't like this? And why do we have to say, this is okay or this is not okay, right? Premier League decision makers should be the ones that have that higher code of conduct, that higher moral standard that they use to decide who gets to own a club and who doesn't. And the problem they're facing right now is that they didn't do that when Man City got bought by the Abu Dhabis, and also, by the way, when they let the Glazers do a leveraged buyout of Manchester United, like how that was allowed, like that. The Glazers are worse than any owners in the Premier League. Okay, like they haven't done the human rights abuses that some of the other owners have, but in terms of abusing their fans, they've done worse than anyone else. Abusing the club, abusing their stands to steal money from the club, from the earnings that the club provides. There's nobody worse than the Glazers. So Giblix, I'm curious. Have you been a Man United fan from before, or are you watching Man United now because of Erik ten Hag, and you've become a fan of the club like this season? Just curious. What's your Man United history? Okay, gotcha. By the way, obviously this is our first live watch along, but what do you guys think about doing like a Discord call-in type of show, which we could do during games as well? It might have to be a little bit selectively, perhaps during halftime or something like that. But how do you guys feel about that? Would you be interested in hopping in on Discord and sort of appearing on the channel as well outside of just the live chats? I mean, we don't have like 10,000 people watching right now. I would definitely, it would, I feel like almost everybody watching would get a chance to. Yeah, fair enough. I see what you mean. There are people with not amazing takes, but that being said, you can always learn something from even a quote unquote poor take, because they might give you a perspective that you've never heard before or never thought about before, right? And trust me, as someone who's been running a YouTube channel for the last 4 months, 4 or 5 months, it's very rare to have an opinion that is absolutely garbage. And I know that sounds astounding to hear, but a lot of times even people that disagree with me, they'll give me a reasoning about sort of why they think I'm wrong. And they do have some points. So at that point, you have to say, fair enough. It's, perhaps agree to disagree, but that is an interesting point. Maguire is GOAT. Okay, yeah. So that I feel like someone who's actually seriously coming onto a channel to talk football and talk United that says Maguire is GOAT is trying to do it for the memes. So we can all agree on that. What is the worst take I've ever heard? That I don't know football. No, but seriously, worst take I've ever heard is probably that Bruno is not United quality. That's probably the worst take I've ever heard. There's also other takes from Chelsea fans on the Chelsea videos that I do. Yeah, Varane is overrated is also a bad take. Agreed. I feel like Varane is more loved at United than he ever was at Real Madrid. And I don't know how that's even possible, because the dude won 4 Champions Leagues at Madrid. So how can even Madrid fans believe that he was carried by Sergio Ramos? Like, that's just like what are you guys doing? That just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that's true. But look at Varane, man. Varane's the best. Even in the World Cup, he was their best defender, and they went all the way through to the finals and narrowly lost. And when you look at the 2018 World Cup as well, Varane was their best defender. So how can a team that's won a World Cup with center back as good as Varane, how can that guy be carried by somebody else at Real Madrid? Like, that just doesn't make sense, right? I appreciate that, Manil. Where are you watching from, by the way? I don't know if you were there at the start of the stream when I was asking everybody. But anybody that wasn't here during the start, please let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Old Hunter. I feel like maybe there is some validity in your point, but Maguire would make anybody look better. Maguire made Lindelof look better, right? So that's not the only reason that Varane is looking this good. Varane is looking good because that's how good he is. And even when he plays next to Martinez, who is a very good defender, at times I feel like Varane and Martinez have shared duties in terms of who looks the better defender in games. but they do provide different things, right? Both of them provide different things to the team. Varane is more of the sweeper. He wins everything in the air, whereas Martinez is the first to press a striker and gets forward a bit more, defensively speaking. So yeah, Varane is definitely not overrated. I also think the way that we're game managing his minutes. Is that Maguire on the wing, by the way? What? Maguire's trying to compete with Sancho now for the left wing spot. By the way, who else in the chat thinks that Maguire would get more minutes if he was bald? Hot take. Ooh, nice pass from Bruno for Eriksen. I think Sean Dyche would get Maguire at Everton if he was bald. Yeah, but I don't think Leicester have the money to get him back, by the way, because he's going to cost 30 or 40 million. And if you look at Leicester's track record of purchasing players, yeah, Maguire's not getting any minutes. I'm just kidding about the bald stuff. All right, just 2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. I apologize about that. Yeah, got it. I think we're good now. But yeah, Malasia's had 2 shots this game. I don't think I've ever seen him have 2 shots. And that's probably more of a poor memory issue than anything else. But by the way, what do you guys think about Fred this season? I feel like we've seen, oddly enough, with Fred playing very minimal minutes, have his best season this year in terms of overall contribution, not in terms of minutes played. Okay, so obviously the game is over. Yes, I will do quick player ratings before I bid adieu to you guys. Let me just get rid of my stream and things like that. Yeah, so it's hard to give man of the match, but let me talk through some of the players first, right? I think Rashford had a decent game, but I don't think he did enough for me to say Rashford had a good game, because Rashford's had such a good season so far. You expect a lot more from him. So let's see. He had 7 shots, right? 0.92 xg. Rashford should have had a goal today. So considering all that, I think Rashford gets a 7 out of 10. It would have been a 6 out of 10 for me for Rashford, but I'll give him a 7 because he got that assist, and we definitely needed that second goal to put the game to bed. But yeah, considering his stats, like 3 out of 8 dribbles, 2 shots on target, 0.92 xg, 7 shots in total, he should have had a goal. Sabitzer, I want to give him a 5 out of 10 because I thought he was below average today. He had 3 shots, just 1 chance created, 39 touches, not much defensively. I feel like Sabitzer is one of those players that we get the best out of when we're playing really well as a team, right? So if we have our defense sorted, if we have our wingers and strikers sorted, and then you put someone like Sabitzer at the number 10 spot, he does really well. But here, let me just turn off the timer. But when you have a game when he's supposed to create stuff out of nowhere, I don't think he does well. So Sabitzer, not good enough, 5 out of 10. Sancho, I think he had a good game. I think this 8.2 over here is a little over-egging the pudding. I would give Sancho a 7 out of 10 as well. 5 chances created, which is good, but it wasn't like they were Manchester City 5 chances, right? 0.38 expected assists created from those 5 chances. So still, I want to see a lot more from Sancho. Weirdly enough, I would like to see his pass accuracy go down a bit. And what I mean by that is I want to see him trying harder passes. I feel like far too often he tries the easy pass, and that's just not good enough for me. So I would love to see Sancho do more, and try some riskier passes, and I feel like that'll do him well. And also take off some of the burden from Bruno. Let me know what you guys think about that. 1 successful dribble. Yeah, decent game. 7 out of 10. Bruno, I think I'm leaning towards Bruno being our man of the match. 4 shots, 6 chances created, 86% pass accuracy on 101 passes attempted. That's pretty impressive. Also had 117 touches, 14 passes into the final third. Like, this guy just does everything. He also took 9 corners for us. So I think Bruno's easily my man of the match. What did you guys think about McTominay? Did McTominay have a good game according to you? I see some more people have joined in right now. Get in the chat with where you're watching from. By the way, we're just doing some really quick player ratings before we wrap up the show. I just talked about how Bruno Fernandes is my man of the match because, again, he was everywhere on the pitch. He was really helping us with the first and second phases of build-up and also doing good stuff in the final third. But Bruno should have had 2 assists today. Let's be honest about that. Probably Antony and Rashford both should have scored, and they both should have been assists for Bruno. And if that happens, he probably has a 9.5 rating by FOTMob. So Bruno was probably my man of the match. I would say 8 or 8.5 out of 10 for Bruno. With McTominay, let's see. 1 goal from 2 shots, 3 chances created, 88% pass accuracy, 69 touches, 2 dribbles completed, 1 accurate cross, 4 accurate long balls, 6 recoveries, but he did get dispossessed 7 times, which is crazy high. I would say, like, for McTominay's standard, that was probably a 6 out of 10. With the goal that he got, he took it well. That probably makes it a 7 out of 10. But if that was a performance put in by Casemiro, I don't think we're necessarily going crazy about it, right? Maybe that's a 6 for Casemiro, 7 for McTominay type of situation. Wan-Bissaka, I thought, had a good game. He got 3 shots. Wan-Bissaka, I don't know how Wan-Bissaka does not get that goal. How did he miss that? What was that chance? This was in the 12th minute, 0.62 xG. That's almost as high as a penalty. And that was, Pickford wasn't even in the net. So You know, good game from Wan-Bissaka, but he should have scored that goal. Good pass accuracy, 2 chances created, 3 successful dribbles, so it was decent going forward. 88 touches, got on the ball a lot. Yeah, so solid game from Wan-Bissaka. I'd give him a 7 as well. Maguire, this is an interesting one. 69 touches, 11 passes into the final third, 6 accurate long balls. Yeah, Maguire really didn't have much to do, so I'm just going to give him an average 6. I can't give him anything more than that. Martinez as well, I will say average 6 for him because his standard is so high, you can't really give him a 7. He didn't really have anything to do today. Look at the 0 tackle 1 from him and 0 tackles from Maguire as well, I think. Yeah, so they really didn't have much to do, especially the center backs. Malacia had a good game. I would give probably Malacia 7.5. 2 dribbles completed, 87 touches, 3 out of 3 tackles completed. Yeah, defensively very solid. I'll probably give him a 7 because I want to see more from him going forward, and I feel like every time Malacia gets the ball and gets to this area here or even over here, he just cuts back and passes backwards into Sancho or Sabitzer or Rashford instead of going to the byline and looking for a cross, right? So 7 for Malacia. I didn't think he did anything special. I would like to see a lot more from him. And De Gea, I'll probably give a 6 as well. And off the bench, Martial probably gets a 7 for that goal. Fred and Eriksen didn't play much, so I'll give them 6s. And Weghorst came on in the 81st minute. I didn't even know Weghorst came on, by the way. That's probably due to me watching the stream more than the game because it was over, but I didn't even know he came on the pitch. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Get in the comments below with your man of the match. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my first watch along. I have to say it is incredibly tiring to talk for 2 hours. But you guys made it very easy. And Giblix, Rishi, Nix, Andra, Sprinting Snail, Muhammad Ali. Just going through all the names here. Not Rick Astley, Amos Mayala, Old Hunter. Thank you guys so much. Apologies if I missed anybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun, man. It's been fun. I really enjoyed it. Please come back on to watch other games that I cover. It really helps support the channel. And like I said, very soon I'll be doing other types of live shows as well where I have people coming on Discord and voicing their opinions. And don't worry, if someone has an outrageous take, I'll try to sit them down as much as possible. But like I said, one of the reasons why people enjoy the channel is for the objectivity and for the safe space for fans, because I feel like there's a lot of toxicity out there. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the tactical analysis that'll come out a little bit later today because I'm probably going to take a break right now. So stay tuned for the tactical analysis later today. And yes, I do have Discord, so go join the Discord channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, dudes.